Hey guys, Lisa P here. So I'm upstairs in my yoga space. So when your kids move out, yep, you get a yoga space. You get a whatever space in your house. I gotta move this back. So I don't have an assistant like Amy does with Hannah. John refused. But so we're just gonna do a, what the hell? Sorry guys. All right, that should get it. So we're just going to do a approximately about a 40 minute, let's say 40 minute yoga practice. Okay, this is my first time recording on this channel. I know Amy said it takes forever to upload, so you may not get this till late this afternoon. So we'll do about a 40-minute yoga. I'm going to put some power in there, so you're going to get it all. You're going to get some strength. You're going to get your heart rate up a little bit, and some flexibility and strength. Right? Crazy times. Week 2 of this. So I hope everybody's healthy, looking outside, seeing some buds out there. Spring is happening. Get out. I mean, the AT trail has been pretty packed. Just social distance when you're out there. But so for your yoga practice, all you're going to need is a mat. If you have a block or a book, go grab one now. So for some of our balance poses, and this can actually 2 yoga blocks if you have issues with planks and push-ups and getting your back leg to step forward. Right, to get your back leg to step forward. My other block is being, I'm holding up the camera with it, so. One block on either side really gives you some extension through the hip, right? So hands on yoga blocks if you have trouble stepping from down dog forward because of hip issues. And I do on my right side. I'll show you some tips for that, but you can always use yoga blocks to step forward or to lift yourself up, okay? So if you have yoga blocks, grab them. If not, get a book if you want to use for balance, okay? So I yelled down to John, I'm like, I'm doing hot yoga, put the heat on 90. He didn't go for that. So if you want to do hot yoga, just put your jacket on, right? So you can use this to do your hot yoga. Put your hat on that holds in a lot of heat so you can turn your class into a hot yoga class. Just kidding, guys. Gotta have a sense of humor. Although, I'm not kidding, this room is actually chilly. We don't have any heat in here. So I do put on this little fireplace. And I guess if I cranked that up, I could do a hot yoga class too. But anyway, let's just get started. Not going to have any music because lately YouTube, they've been listening to, I had some free music to stream. And they're just blocking it. It's causing problems. Everybody in for the money. So, if you have your phone on, put on your favorite yoga music right now. You can stream something yourself, okay? We're just gonna come onto the mat. We're gonna come into child's pose. So with your knees wide, big toes together, arms out, hips way back, drop down. If you have your block, you can put it here, put your forehead on it, like right at the eyebrow line. And you can just roll your head side to side, just gently on that block. Start connecting to your body, bringing yourself into your intention here. What do you hope to get out of your practice? Do you want to reduce some stress? Do you want to just connect to your body? Shut off your mind. All right, connecting to breath here. Forehead can be on the mat as well. Just calming ourselves. A little pressure on the forehead with a forward fold really activates or brings the parasympathetic nervous system online, and that's the part of the nervous system that calms us. Your sympathetic nervous system is that fight or flight. So if you're, worrying about what's happening and am I going to get it? What happens if someone gets sick? Your mind will go there and bring it back online, bring it back to breath, bring it back to calming, go within. Right? So part of this social distancing and this lockdown is making us isolate a little bit. And it's a good place to practice going within. There's an awesome, Deepak's got a free yoga meditation series going on right now. So I'll send a link out to that via band. But it's a great time to go within. Right? So a lot of times we find we can't go within. We look for things external to us to distract us. because going within is difficult, right? That monkey mind goes and we get anxiety, but learning to kind of calm from within, go within, because in reality, guys, what is going to protect us and heal us and save us really is our own immune system, our own cellular function. So if we can get the body into a calmer state, a powerful calm state, and trust that we're designed that way, in addition to doing all the other, eating well, resting well, hydrating, and washing our hands if we're exposed to other people, trusting that our bodies have its own system, we just need to support that, right? So go inside, trust yourselves. We're going to take a practice here, especially at the end of practice here, at the beginning and the end, to empower those cells. So right here, just start to begin to come up into tabletop pose. Hands come underneath the shoulders, knees come underneath the hips. And we're going to work through cat-cow. So you're going to lower your belly, lift your tailbone, arch your back, and then push the floor away, draw your navel up toward your spine, and let the crown of the head drop down toward the floor, okay? And yep, we are going to empower this, Erin Quinn, with vomiting cat. I stole this from Corey Lafrowski. When you do your cat stretch, push firmly into the floor and pull up like you're heaving, okay? So I really want to empower the core here. Core is really important in yoga, important in push-ups, important in making transitions from one pose to the other. So really here, power the core. Pull your navel up toward your spine and imagine like you're heaving. Coughing up a hairball. And then one more time. So from that cat position, keep that activation in the core as you come back to a neutral spine. You're going to slide. I'm going to come forward. Slide your leg closest to me back, toes curled under, and then push so your heel goes further back than your toes. Check in with your calves. And then gently take it to the other side. So left leg slides out, slide the heel further back than the toes, stretch out your calves. And we're going to do that one more time each way. Connect to the calves. I've been doing a lot of hiking on the AT, so the calves are a little tight here. And then gently from that neutral position, rock your hips way back towards your heels. Lift your knees off the floor if that works for you. Your hips might have to be a little high here. Deep squat, maybe take your knees in and out. Hip mobility here. Lift the hips up and come into a broken downward dog. So your knees are bent a lot here. Elbows are bent. You can just kind of hanging off your hands and feet. Paddle through your feet one at a time. Decompress the neck and shoulders. And then we're just gently here going to walk the feet halfway up to the hands. So it's not important that you get your feet to your hands. You may never. That's okay. Walk your feet halfway up to your hands. And then ragdoll here. So box out your elbows. One hand grabs one elbow. One hand grabs the other elbow. Soft knees. Just sway side to side. You may even want to reach down and spread out your toes. Get your feet nice and wide. Play with your toes. And then just practice sort of rocking forward onto the ball of your foot, back onto your heels, over to the left, over to the right. Feel your feet as if your feet are spreading out and getting bigger. So press your hands just below your knees. Inhale, lift the rib cage up, halfway lift. So we're looking for not straight legs, we're looking for a flat back rather than a rounded back. Nice flat back, nice and long in the back of the neck. Exhale, soft forward fold. So now push through your feet. Push through your feet as you slowly rise up, letting your head come up last. Sweep the arms up. Now I'd like you to take your left hand, grab your right wrist, ground into your feet, and lean toward the left. Push firmly into your right foot now as you lengthen the right side of your body. Come back to center, switch wrists. So push firmly into the left foot as you lean the body to the right. Come back to center. Make sure that the shoulders are staying down. Don't let the shoulders come up toward the ears. And we're going to do one more on the other side. A little side bend here. And then gently release your arms down to your side. So here, with your middle toes facing forward and you kind of firmly rooted in your hips, just let the body, you can Let the arms swing, let the shoulders rotate from side to side, kind of slapping the body here. You can even take one hand to the chest and one arm out more, just releasing through the upper body. Let your eyes go down toward the floor and sweep from side to side. Hips can start to move a little bit here, and just release. I'm going to let it slow down, and then come all the way back to center. Take a deep breath in here, reach up, exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Now we're going to use sun salutations here to warm up the body. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to the floor firmly. If you need yoga blocks here, here's a good place to have them. Step the right leg back to the back of the mat. Take that knee to the ground. Engage your core here. Inhale and rise. Exhale, sweep the arms all the way down. Inhale, lift the back knee. Now step back to high plank. Bring your body weight forward. Shift the body weight forward. Let the front of the thighs or knees come to the floor. Slowly lower yourself down to the floor. Keep your belly on the floor. Keep your hips on the floor. Engage your butt muscles as you peel just your heart off the floor. And imagine you're pulling the mat back, sliding your hands back and your heart coming forward. Now transfer back to child's pose. You can tuck your toes here. Lift your knees off the floor and lift up into downward facing dog, knees bent. Your heels may or may not ever reach the ground. Pick up one heel, then the other. Just paddle through your feet. Lift both of your heels up as high as you can into your foot fold, your push-off phase. Bend the elbows a little and straighten. Just bend and straighten the elbows just a tiny bit here. Play with the elbows moving down toward the floor, out to the side. See how it feels different on your shoulders. Now slowly walk your feet halfway up the mat. Soft forward fold here. Let your neck go. Inhale, press off your thighs, shins or thighs. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Step to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold again. So we're forward folding here. We're hinging. Inhale, lift. We're on a high hinge. Exhale, back to the fold, hands to the floor. This time, left leg steps back. Place the knee down. Engage the core as you rise. Feel a little bit of stretch here. Exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, lift the back knee off the floor. Exhale, high plank, come forward, knees or toes lower down to the mat. Inhale, peel the heart off the floor. Elbows are pushing back, you're pulling the mat back so your upper back is engaged here. Just keep your eyes forward, don't lift your chin. If you'd like to go to full upward dog, you're just lifting the pelvis off the floor without arching back. Moving to down dog, belly strong here. Pull your navel in towards your spine, flip through your feet, downward facing dog. Now remember in that transfer, you can always go child's pose down dog if your low back is feeling a little strained here. Lift up the heels. Bend the knees, look towards your hands, and slowly walk your feet up as far as you can. You don't have to come to your hands though. That's a strain on the low back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. Now lower your tailbone now. Lower your tailbone, lower your butt down. Inhale, lift up. This is a hip width apart chair pose. So I want to make sure you're not arching your low back. Pull your tailbone under here. Engage the belly muscles. Sink a little bit lower. Inhale, lift a little. Exhale, sink a little. Now here we're going to kind of work the quads a little bit. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, sink back into chair pose. We're going to do this about 10 times. You can go a little faster if you'd like. Think push into the ground, squeeze the glutes. Maintain that nice strong low back. Maintain that belly activation for 5, 4, 3, 2, breathing steady. Last one, hold at the bottom here. Go an inch deeper if you can. You can take the arms out wide or maybe even cactus the arms, tuck the belly, pull the elbows back. Take a deep breath, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Quad should be a little burny here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back. This time we're going to keep the knee off the ground. Really ground into your front foot and your back heel is lifted high. Inhale, rise. It's going to be a little bit of a balance challenge here. Exhale, hands to heart center. So inhale, kickstand the back leg. Put all the weight into your front leg, your left leg. Square your hips, square your shoulders, okay? Lift the back leg off the floor. So we're coming into a T position. I'll turn to side in a minute. Inhale, drop the back leg. Exhale, push off and T. Inhale, drop the back leg, just barely touch. Stay loaded in the front leg. Exhale, T position. Inhale, come up, balance and challenge the core. Exhale, and you're challenging that left glute. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, hold that T position. Sweep the arms back, nice and long. Bend that front leg a lot. Good, and then maybe even play with bending and straightening. Bending and straightening a few more times. Really engaging that left glute, one more. Good, and reach, come all the way up. Right leg comes to the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Should feel a little burn in that left glute. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left leg back this time. Once again, we're going to keep that left knee lifted off the ground. Left knee is off the ground. Left heel is off the ground. Inhale, go long. So that left foot is not bent, okay? Now load the front leg. Use the back leg as a kickstand, okay? So this time, if you like, hands can come to heart center, hands to hips, or you can keep the arms long and feel the core activate here. Inhale into a warrior three. Drop back, lightly touch. Maybe even sweep the arms back, play with it, make it yours. Come right back up. So you're really working through that right glute. Keep the right knee bent a lot here. Play. Maybe even sweep out to T. Lightly touch. Keep the right knee really bent. You got 2 more reps here. Challenging balance. Challenging right glute activation. Good. Hold this one here. Play with the arms. Bend and straighten that front leg. Make sure it's not wobbling side to side. So it's glute activation here to keep that knee stacked right over the ankle. One more time. Good. Take the back leg in, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to step both feet back to high plank position. Slide the rib cage forward, so come forward onto the front part of your hand. Knees or toes, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And then exhale into your downward facing dog. Just paddle through your feet here, take a breath. Heart rate should be up a little bit. So one heel lifts, one heel lowers. Now you're going to take your feet together. And I want you to lift the right, I hit the wall. Right leg up to the ceiling. Square your hips, square your shoulders. Be aware of the pressure is equal in both hands. Bend your right heel to the bum. Draw your right foot over to the left. Make sure the weight in your left hand and right hand are equal. Come back through. We're going to lift up your left heel. Come forward into plank. Draw your right knee as close inside the elbow as you can. Press back into three-legged dog. Now bring it way outside the right elbow. Back. Bring it to the opposite elbow. Really contract your core here. Back again. This time we're going to step it through. Here's where the blocks might help. Take your foot, step it through. Take your left knee to the ground. Inhale, rise. So we really work through that core a little bit. Turn your heart toward the right. Right arm goes behind you. Left arm comes outside the right knee. Now kind of have this interplay between left arm and right thigh. Take a breath here. Keep your left hip pulling forward. Inhale, up again, nice little twist there. Exhale, release hands to the floor. Lift up your back knee, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's get back to that that chair pose. Bring your big toes together, heels are close together. Squeeze your inner thighs, lower the hips, and rise up. So drop back, tuck your tail. So pull your navel in. You can cactus out the arms if you like. Squeeze the shoulders. Tuck the chin in. It's easy to jut your chin forward here. So pull everything back towards the wall behind you. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Once again, we're going to step both feet back. So have the right leg go first, right, left, high plank. Slide your heart forward, knees or toes, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, find your down dog. Take a nice deep breath here. This time we're going to take the left leg. Left leg lifts up toward the back wall, then maybe up to the ceiling, heel to bum. Draw the left knee to the right. So make sure your left hand isn't lifting. Push down, square your shoulders. Make this all about the hip.
Come back to center, and we're going to come forward with the left knee inside the left elbow, strong core. Think vomiting cat. Ugh. Inhale, lift up and out. Exhale, way out wide. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, left knee to right inner elbow. Inhale, lift up again. This time you're going to step it through. Help it get there if it needs to. Nice long lunge. Take the back knee to the ground. Inhale, lift up. Now we're going to turn toward the left thigh. So the left arm goes out behind you, right arm comes on the outside. Have a little play between this arm and this leg. They're kind of pushing against each other. So the knee doesn't collapse in. Lift your heart. Each exhale, reach longer behind you. Drive that right knee, hip forward. Inhale all the way back to center. Exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, lift the back knee and float the back leg in as you come in right into that half lift, and then exhale, fold. Thighs together, feet together, squeeze the thighs. Chair pose once again. We're going to add a twist to the chair pose. So I want you to bring your hands to heart center. Draw the shoulder blades down. Pull your navel in. Bring your heart forward. Pivot your chest to the right. Look down and make sure that the right knee doesn't slide back. So look at your knees. Keep that right knee parallel to the left. Hook the elbow if you can. Now realign the hips by drawing the left knee back a little and the right knee forward as you turn your heart to the right. Draw your navel in. Twists are really good, especially this twist is really good. Squeeze the thighs, draw your belly button in toward your spine, then think about bringing it up towards your heart. One more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to step the right leg back again. Keep the knee off the ground if you can. Take it down if you need to. Inhale all the way up. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, we're going to take that back foot, the one furthest from me, step it in and turn it. So the back heel is down, baby toe side of your back foot is down, heart is forward, warrior one. Front knee is bent. So look at your front leg, middle toes facing forward, knee is stacked right over the ankle. If you want to lift the arms there, go ahead. T is fine, whatever you want to do with your arms. I like to clasp behind and get a chest stretch on a warrior one. You choose, but really push back into the right foot. And imagine you're sort of trying to pull them out apart with your feet. Take another breath, reach up. Good. Now from here, we're going to turn. So turn your torso to the right until you feel a stretch in the left inner thigh. Pivot the back foot, adjust the back foot. I always have to adjust my front foot too. So you want your tailbone tucked under, shoulders over hips, reach the arms out long. So this looks like a long, your left knee is right over your ankle, your right leg, it's like you're pulling them out apart. You'll see this a lot in this pose. I want you to make sure that your shoulders are right over your pelvis. I always like to kind of go toward that back arm a little bit. So take another breath here. Very powerful pose for the legs, glute activation. And again, make sure the butt's not sticking out. You want to tuck under and be nice and long. Take another breath here. We're going to straighten the front leg, lift the arms. Exhale, open the arms, bend the front leg. Just a few dynamic moves here. Inhale, straighten the front leg, arms up. Exhale, bend. If you start to get more flexible here with this movement, you can always inch the front foot further out as long as the knee is staying stacked over the ankle. Kind of a better thing to inch the back foot further away. And then find that true pose. Good. Straighten the arms, straighten the leg. Lift up the front toes, pivot the front foot forward. So all of your toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Hands come to hips. And I want you to think flat back here as you hinge forward. So you're keeping the knees slightly bent or straight, whatever works for you. Engage the front of your thighs, like you're pulling your kneecaps up towards your hips. Nice flat back here. And then slowly go down, 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 down. Hands come way further forward. Use them to push your hips back a little bit here. And if you'd like to walk your hands in, this is a nice forward fold. And again, folds are very calming. So allow a calming to come to your body here. Engage like you're pulling your kneecaps up towards your hips and tighten up the front of your leg, the quadriceps, engage them. And then just walk toward the front leg. See what that does. Come back to center, walk back toward the back leg. Exploring what feels tighter, what feels like it's being stretched. And then from here, we're just gonna take our hands to our hips, engage your thighs, push into the ground to rise back up, okay? Take the front foot closest to me in a little bit, lift up the ball of the foot and pivot back right into that warrior two. See if you found more space here, right? So making sure that the front knee is still over the ankle, turn to side. So making sure you're still maintaining front knee over ankle, good. And then we're gonna reverse the warrior. So the hand closest to me from the armpit, pivot up. Take it just bicep and ear lining up. Contract the back part of your body, like you're trying to reach that arm further down to find your sun warrior instead of just cranking into sun warrior, okay? So contract the right side of your body to get the left side to open more. You can go ahead and straighten the front leg if you'd like to see what that does. Let's go right back into warrior two. Bend the front knee, sink the pelvis straight down, arms back into that T position. Walk the back foot in just a little bit. Lift up the back heel. Right heel, lower your right arm, pivot the right hip forward. We're coming right back into that nice long lunge. Good. Exhale, hands to floor, step the back foot in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take the feet together, squeeze the inner thighs, lower the pelvis, chair pose. Tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone, hands to heart center. Keeping everything squeezing, weight is into the back part of the foot. Really, I like to lift my toes here. Bring your heart forward, and we're gonna pivot to the left. As you do, look at your knees. Turn your heart to the left first and make sure the left knee doesn't slide back. Hook the elbow if you can. Realign the knees. So you're pulling your right hip back a little and your left hip slightly forward against that rotation of the thoracic spine. So automatically as your thoracic spine rotates to the left, right, your left hip is going to want to come back. Keep driving it forward. Isolate this to the upper spine. Pelvis stays steady. Take another breath here, squeezing, pulling navel in. Exhale, sink deeper. Get a little more of a twist for one more breath. These always make me sweat. Take a deep breath in, press into the feet, rise. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Notice how your balance is challenged because your feet are closer together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left leg back. Knee lifted if you can, down if you need to. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Walk the back foot in a little. If your knee is on the ground, you're gonna have to lift it now. Place the back foot down. So we're setting this foundation here, okay? So the back foot grounds first. Front knee is staying right over the ankle. Hips drive forward. So any little adjustment you need to make in that back foot, but make sure the baby toe side of your back foot is firmly rooted. Your foundation is from the ground, your mat. So my mat's really nice, a textured mat is even nicer. So imagine here, like you're trying to pull the mat apart. You're trying to push your left foot back further. Good, so we're just going to adjust this here. Arms, whatever you want to do. Keep your front low ribs tacked down. It's easy to arch here and pull the heart out. Right, forward and up, not literally pull your heart out. So think about that, about you keeping that plank, you're keeping the pubic bone driving forward, you're keeping the front lower ribs down to keep the low back out of this. And then just take a nice deep breath in, bring your hands to heart center. All we're going to do is turn the heart to the left, pivot the back foot. If you need to, adjust the front foot, so front knee over ankle. Tailbone stacks, arms reach out. Once again, we don't want to push the butt out. You want to stay tucked under, higher if you need to. That front knee, the hip doesn't have to be parallel with the knee. I'm going to turn side on for this. So sometimes to get down here so we're parallel, we'll push the butt out. Tuck under, lift up higher if you need to. As long as that front knee is stacked over the ankle, we're good. Make any micro adjustments. Take a few breaths here. Now inhale, straighten the front leg. Arms can come up. Exhale, press. Inhale. And again, if you start to feel a little more flexible in the front hip, you may be able to walk the left foot further away. One more time. Back into that last warrior two. Stretch it apart. Broaden across your collarbones. Think how wide and strong you can be. Straighten the front leg. Lift up the ball of the foot. Pivot that forward. Hands to hips. Or if you'd like this time, clasp your hands behind, but place them firmly against your ribs and your tailbone. Tighten up the thighs. Think about pushing down into the mat to lift the body and make it lighter. Hinge forwards. Remember, anytime we're flexing at the hips without the knees bending, it's a hinge. Slowly lower, deeper, 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 deeper. This time we're going to release the hands to floor and walk them as far back as you can and use them to pull you back more. Take a breath here. We're not trying to work the hammies, so soften the knee, tighten up the quadriceps. Reciprocal, right? If you tighten the muscles at one side of a joint, the other side has to let go. So think about where you can activate to get the hammies to let go a little bit more. So hands come right under your face, straighten the arms. Bring your hands to hips, press down into the floor to come all the way up. Okay? Walk your front foot in a little bit, just turn the heel in a bit as you lift the midfoot, turn the midfoot, place it back down, right back into that warrior two. And again, you might find some new length here, so if you need to, left foot can move further away. Front knee stays jacked right over the ankle. You're going to pivot the top palm. Now contract your left side. Left hand is going to come down to the left thigh, right arm by bicep. Contract your left side to open up your right side. See if you want to straighten the front leg and see how that feels. Pubic bone coming forward, tailbone long. Find your way back into the warrior two. Heel toe your left foot in a little bit. Lift up your left heel. Lower the left arm. Pivot to the front. Little balance challenge here. Take a nice deep breath in. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands to the floor. Step the front foot back to plank. Come forward. Lower knees or toes. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Paddle through your feet. One heel up, one heel down. Now we're going to wave forward into plank. Once you lift your heels as high as you can, draw your navel toward your spine. Wave forward into a plank position. Take the front of your thighs or knees to the floor. We're going to execute 10 push-ups. These can be done from your knees or your toes. So lower and lift. Don't let your head hang. All right, no yoga pecker heads. So pelvis and belly hits the floor at the same time. Elbows move toward the back of the mat. How about for 3? You can still be on your toes. I'm not. 2, last one. Release back into child's pose. Big load on the shoulders. So right here, I'd like you to come into tabletop position. Square the hips, square the shoulders. Take your left arm, reach it up toward the ceiling. Pull it back a little bit more if you can. Exhale, sweep that arm, palm up all the way across. Take your ear to the floor. Take your right hand, push it out further, and use that to push your hips to the left. Keep reaching your left arm toward the right. Draw your shoulder away from your ear. Come back to center. Hands under shoulders, square hips. This time the right arm's going to reach up. You might find you're tighter in the front of one shoulder than the other. Reach it up. Open up a little more. Exhale, come under, palm up. Slide that arm as far as it'll go on its own. Then place your head on the floor. Take your left hand out further, finger stand or flat palm. Use that to push your hips toward the right. Reach your right arm further across. Draw your right shoulder down away from your ear. Square hips, square shoulders. And gently come back to center. Now we're going to come down to the floor to work a little bit of the core, upper body. So you're going to come all the way down to the floor. We're going to do some IYTs. So all 10 toes rooted down, toenails on the mat, feet are hip width apart. Think about here, pushing your feet into the ground. The knees will be off the ground here because you're straightening your legs so much. Think if you had a pair of jeans on, the bottom of the zipper, all the way down by the crotch, the pubic bone, push it into the floor and squeeze your glutes. Forehead down toward the floor. I don't want to see you lift your head up, okay? Sweep the arms forward, all 10 fingers, all 5 fingers on each hand, kind of like you have cupcakes underneath your hands, right? So all of your finger stands here. Root into the butt. I want to see your butts engaged. You're going to lift the arms up, place the palms toward one another, and they're in the I position. Inhale, lift as you go into the Y position. Hold that height as you exhale. Inhale to the T position. Hold that height as you exhale. And take the arms behind you, palms facing up. Take your right cheek to the mat. Release the tension in your hips and pelvis. Wiggle your hips side to side. Now forehead back down to the mat. Sweep the arms forward, finger stands. Shoulders pull back. Activate everything. Glutes fire. Pelvis presses into the mat. Lift the torso, eyes still down. Hold there on the exhale. Take your arms to the Y position, draw your shoulder blades back, hold there for the exhale. T position, high as you can, hold there for the exhale. Sweep the arms behind you, right cheek to the mat, side to side. We're going to do 5 reps without coming down. If you need to come down, you're going to come down, okay? Sweep the arms forward, all finger stands. Forehead down to the mat, then just lift the forehead off the floor, keep your head in that position, press into the feet. Inhale, lift, exhale, hold. Inhale, higher, exhale, hold. Inhale, high, exhale, hold. Sweep the arms back to the eye and lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, hold. Y, inhale, lift. Exhale, hold, T, inhale, lift, really pull your shoulder blades in toward one another here, and then back into the eye position. You've got 3 more. Glutes fire, inhale, lift, exhale, the height, hold. Inhale, lift higher, hold it on the exhale. Inhale as high as you can, hold it on the exhale. And then come back to that starting position. Here's where you take the break if you need to. Inhale, lift, exhale, hold the height. Inhale, draw your shoulder blades in toward one another. Exhale, hold the height. Inhale as high as you can, don't look up. Exhale, eyes are still to the mat. You got 1 more. Come forward, recover a bit if you need to. Here, activate everything here. Last set, best set. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold the height. Inhale, go higher. Exhale, hold the height. Inhale, go as high as you can. Exhale, hold that height. Arms behind you, palms down. 1 cheek to the mat, doesn't matter which one. Rock the hips side to side. Heart rate should have gone up a little bit. Now here we're going to take 1 palm on top of the other. Let your forehead rest on that palm. Bend 1 leg at a time so the feet are up toward the ceiling. And I want you to crisscross. Ankles go in and out. Crossing, alternate the ankle in front. You're going to crisscross, crisscross, crisscross. Now just hold the legs straight up, so feet straight over the knees. Drop the feet to the left and to the right. 1 hip's going to come off the floor just slightly, not big here, just a side-to-side windshield wipe. Now we're going to do a little front of the body stretch and a scorpion. So you're going to take your hands straight out from your shoulders, palms facing down, okay? Take your right cheek to the mat, okay? Both feet go down to the ground. Now I want you to bend your left foot up toward the ceiling. You are going to root into your hands a little bit here. We're going to lift that left thigh off the ground. So you're going to feel big glute activation on the left side. Point the toe. Sweep that foot all the way over to the other side. If you can get it to your right hand, that's fine. If not, just touch it to the ground. Reach your right hand further across. You're really stretching across the front of the shoulder. If you feel a hamstring stretch, you're going too far. So I just want you to relax your left leg. Come back to center. Both legs long, all thin, 10 toenails down. Switch cheeks. Bend the right foot. Lift the hip. Slowly roll across. You're almost compressing your left breast. If it comes to your hand, that's fine. But don't reach for it. Squeeze your glutes and push your pubic bone forward. Lengthen low back. Come back to center. And you can go 1 more time each side. Kind of slow here. So cheek. Bend the left knee. Sweep around. Scorpion here. Come back to center, cheek, bend the right knee, sweep across, get a chest stretch, and then come slowly back to center. Hands to the floor. Now slide back, lift up, slide back slowly into child's pose. So low back might be feeling a little bit tight here because we did a lot of contraction back there. So I'd like you to take your knees together now and try child's pose here. With your knees together, it's going to stretch your low back a little bit more. Use your hands to push yourself back a bit. Forehead can hang. You can even take forearms to the ground here, side to side, whatever feels good for you. Now we're going to take a little bit more of a stretch here. So widen your knees out a little bit here. You're going to take your right hand off the mat, bring your left hand on top of it, square your shoulders, and then push your whole body to the left. And then switch. Take the left hand across, off onto the floor. Right hand goes on top. Square shoulders and use that to push your whole body to the right. And then gently come back to center. Gotta check our time here. Oh, we're coming up on 40. All right, let's come onto your backs. I'm gonna turn side on here. Come onto your back, take your knees to your chest. Arms out to T position. Gently kind of rock side to side here. You can even take your knees closer to you. Flex the feet, grab. You can come into a happy baby here with a rock side to side to massage out low back, pelvis. It goes so fast. If you can, straighten one leg, straighten the other leg if you want to right here. Just kind of play. Happy baby. Gently, slowly take your feet to the floor. Make sure you can kind of tickle your heels with your hands, okay? Press your shoulders open, lift the tailbone, just the tailbone. So as you lift the tailbone off the floor, your belt line is still on the floor. You're feeling engaging through the pelvis, and then push into your feet, slowly lift the hips. I want you to think pubic bone higher than belly button. So the belly button kind of drops in and pulls toward your heart as your pubic bone lifts. Engage the glute muscles here. If you can, roll one shoulder at a time and clasp your palms. And once again, we don't want the belly button to pop. You want the pubic bone to lift. Breathe. This can be very constricting for a lot of people. So open through your chest, lengthen your neck, shoulders pulling think about your knuckles pulling towards your heels. Breathe. Slowly lower back down, unbind the arms. Take one knee at a time into your chest. And just gently rock side to side. Now we're going to create some energy before we come into Shavasana, okay? So what I want you to do here is you're going to take your knees right over your hips, okay? Head and shoulders are going to stay on the floor. Hands can come down, you can root into your arms. We are going to extend the left leg out to where your ceiling would meet your wall and draw the right knee in. Now the low back's kind of neutral here. I'm not going to say jam your low back into the floor, but I do want you to activate so your belly doesn't pop. And then you're going to switch legs. Level 2, you're going to come halfway down the wall without your low back coming off the floor. You stay very engaged. And level 3, you're going to have those legs right along the floor, just hovering off the floor. We're going to do this 26 times. So everybody have your right knee in, your left leg out. And we're going to switch, there's 1. Switch, there's 2. Switch, there's 3. Switch, there's 4. We're doing 26, there's 5. And if you feel your low back starting to come off the floor, go higher with your legs. There's 7. Switch, 8. Switch, 9. If you want more, lift the head and shoulders off the floor, as long as your neck is feeling. There's 10. 16 to go, there's 11. 15. 'Go for your highest level here. 18. 20. You got 6 more. 6. 5. Contract. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Take your knees into your chest. Now take 1 foot at a time to the floor. Extend 1 leg at a time. Slowly flip your palms up. Breathe, and I want you to tap into that burn you created in the core. That was energy. You created that energy. I want you to imagine that energy now emanating down your legs. Imagine that energy emanating down your arms to your fingertips, across your shoulders, all the way to the crown of your head. Now I want you to imagine that energy now dissipating into every cell of your body. So that burn, that energy, even if you want to assign it a color. How about white hot energy you just created in the belly? Let it emanate now and spread into every cell of your body. So every cell of your body is now just sparkling with that white hot energy. We are energetic beings. So as you lay there in your Shavasana, in your resting pose, palms up for acceptance, palms down if you feel you need to ground a little bit more. But I still want you to hang on to. We don't feel the burn in the belly anymore. That goes away, but I want you to hang on to that energetic imprint. And know that with movement and action, and sometimes inaction, like right now, we go within. And we can tap into the energy of every cell.
So take a moment here as you breathe in to imagine that as you inhale, you bring in that oxygen, that you create more sparkle and more energy. And as you exhale, we release the spent cells, the ones that just aren't sparkling anymore, right? So breathe in energy and exhale the things that are taking that energy away. Breathe in healing action, good water, rest, meditation, good food, movement. Exhale the things that aren't serving you anymore. Negative thoughts, right? Disaster, what if thoughts. Inhale, positive action, positive energy. Exhale, negative action, negative energy. And one more time as you inhale, every cell sparkling, bright, white, hot, light, and energy. Exhale out any of the darkness. And then let everything relax here. Know that your body has been intelligently programmed at a cellular level. It's programmed for healing. So even if you get that tiny cut on your finger, all hands on deck go to heal that cut. So know and trust that your body is programmed for health and healing. And then gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Imagine you're from those fingers and toes emanating that sparkle of energy. Wiggle your wrists and your ankles, maybe circle them. Draw one knee at a time into your chest. Give yourself a big hug, like you're a ball of energy right now, just sparkling, ready to create an impact on your world, maybe in your four walls today, and that's okay. Roll to one side, whatever side feels right or left, with your eyes closed. Take a breath here. And then when you feel right, come to a seated position, one that feels comfortable for you. Can even be on a yoga block. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up, and imagine that it's almost like an airport spotlight, right? And emanating that energy out. Take your palms together and let it come and get stronger. Take your thumbs to your forehead, press in your wisdom and your knowledge. Keep learning, but shut that news off, and the Facebook and the internet and all that. If you want to get knowledge, go look for it in a respectable, resourceful place. Not your neighbor. Right? Keep learning. Educate yourself with what you need to stay healthy and strong and calm and powerful. Thumb knuckles to your lips, your voice, and please speak your truth, what you know to be true. Thumb knuckles to your heart, and all of those things come from this place, from love, and I share that place of love with you guys. Miss you all. Hope you're all staying safe and doing the right thing. And in the spirit of Namaste, that light shines. I have a flag that is in the window behind us. It says, Namaste, I honor the place in you that's the same in me. I honor the place in you where the whole universe resides, and it does. We're stars of light, of love, of peace, and of truth. I honor that place in you that is the same in me, and there is but one. Namaste. And we're finding that now in this time, right? We're no longer nations or neighborhoods or, we are one. We are one. We are one organism being invaded by another organism, right? As a global universe here. And I hope when all is said and done that this keeps us with that realization. And hope to see you soon. I'm going to try to upload this summer. All right, see you guys. Love you.